Hello, everyone, and welcome to MeowMix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
And we have the unfortunate pleasure of discussing a Carolina Panthers defeat today. Panthers lose to the Bears 23-16 in a game that I felt like the Panthers could have won about 5 times and the Bears could have won about 5 times.
It felt like the players just never really got into a rhythm today. I mean, that could be strictly the Bears defense, which is a very good defense. But even though it seemed like they kept shooting themselves in the foot too. Drop passes, penalties. They weren't crisp today at all.
Yeah, I was reading someone's predictions this morning before the game, and they said expect a very sloppy game, and that's exactly what we got on both sides. I think some of the Bears coaching decisions were insane and mind-boggling, and then the Panthers, although I think our coaching decisions were good, execution was very poor. Couldn't keep. I mean, the biggest thing to me was Teddy just didn't have a clean pocket all day long. He just didn't have time to do anything.
Not only that, I felt like every time they ran Mike Davis, it was up the middle where he was getting no room instead of trying to stretch the corner where him and Trenton Cannon got a little bit of yardage. It just seemed really odd.
Yeah, it was. And I credit a lot of that to the Bears defense. I mean, they've got playmakers all over the field on defense.
And let's kind of go with the 3 plays that I think kind of really changed the game, whether positively or negatively. And unfortunately, these are all negative. I think the first one, right out of the gate, first possession, after that sack, it was 3rd down, and it was a interception right away. Gave the Bears in red zone area, and they got a 7 out of it. I mean, just you put yourself in a hole right away.
Yeah, Teddy tried to force the ball there, trying to make a play. I think it was to Robbie Anderson. The ball was tipped and then intercepted, and unfortunately gave the Bears the ball right there. I think they were around the 10-yard line or so. So that, and we were already backed up. I think there was a penalty on the kickoff or something.
Yeah, there was a 2-man blocking 1 man.
Yeah, that's right.
And that put us back even further than the sack that almost was a safety. And then
that really could have been. I mean, they could have called that a safety on the field. I don't know if you could have overturned it. So that was a close one.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and I didn't like that. I didn't like that play call at all. If you're that far back and it was already like 3rd and 18 or 3rd and 16, just go ahead and do like a play action little dump off to Mike Davis to get 3-4 yards to give Charlton room.
Where was John Fox when we needed him?
Yeah. I mean,
do a draw play, just get some space for the punter,
Moving on to the second play that kind of determined the game is a drop touchdown pass by DJ Moore. It would have been difficult, and we got 3 points out of it, but it was in his hands, and he just could not hold on to it.
Yeah, hit him square in the chest. And it was a great throw by Teddy too, under pressure. Kind of falling back. I had to make a quick decision, and he put it right there. DJ had to jump for it, but that's a catch that if you're going to be a number 1, you're going to be one of the top receivers in the league, you got to make that catch.
And this game was in the balance too. Let's be honest. 3 points did good, but getting the 7 would have really kind of gotten the monkey off the back, kind of moved it into there. But had to settle for a field goal.
That would have been an incredible play overall for the Panthers, and much needed at that time.
Now, the last play that kind of was a deciding factor was a 4th and 2. It was a great play call by Joe Brady. DJ Moore wide open. Teddy Bridgewater threw the ball. I don't know if it was DJ Moore running the wrong route or Teddy under pressure just threw an errant ball. DJ Moore had to turn around, try to one-hand it, brought it into his body, just didn't hang on to it. And then they do 3 downs, punt. We get the ball, immediate interception. But I think that play right there, that drop / bad throw, whatever you want to call it, I think if they could have got that, it would have been gave them momentum and continued on to at least come closer to getting that touchdown.
Well, that would have put him, that would have put him, if not in the red zone, pretty close to it. I mean, that was down the field, and it would have been an incredible catch. Unlike the first one where DJ should have easily had it, this one would have been an amazing catch, and he had it. He had it. He just didn't bring it into his body.
And if Teddy would have put that on the numbers in stride, that would have been a touchdown itself.
Oh yeah. It sounded like, it looked like DJ had sort of gotten twisted up there a little bit. It was not a good throw.
No,
it was not a good throw. He overthrew him. But I think you could either say, for our third key to the game, either that play or the interception with about a minute and a half left that really sealed the game. But had this play worked out, then you don't have that next play. So
yeah,
this was a big one. But so some people might be saying, well, what about all the turnovers? There were lots of turnovers in this game. Well, they didn't really. Other than the very last one, they didn't really hurt the Panthers that bad. The first one and the last one.
Yeah, the first one and last one. Mike Davis's, they did get a field goal out of it. And actually, no. Jeremy Chin intercepted it right back. So
that was sort of and then there was an interception that Teddy threw right after that. So basically 3 turnovers in a row. We got bailed out a little bit there on that last.
Yeah, that was a pass interference. The guy clocked him and ran over his back to get to the ball.
Luckily it was, because that was an emotional time for me. Those 3 plays in a row. That was an emotional time for me.
I literally sank in my couch when I watched that interception. Luckily, like you said, it was called back. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Because I was all excited for Jeremy Chin getting his first interception, everything else. And
Jeremy Chin, hell of a game.
Yeah.
Had a very good game. Not going to show up a ton on the stat sheet in terms of total tackles, only 5 in this game, but 2 pass deflections, had that interception. Had a couple of really nice plays to essentially stop first downs. I thought he was all over the field today. Unlike Tahir Whitehead, who I have a major bone to pick with. This guy brought in the offseason to help shore up our linebacking core, and he is useless out there.
I 100% agree. He is useless. Let's get Jermaine Carter out there. I see
we need to do something.
Besides getting no pressure on Nick Foles, who's a up and down quarterback, at least get Jermaine Carter out there to at least see what he has, because Tahir Whitehead has nothing. He has nothing. No. He's going to be a backup for the rest of his career after he's get bumped.
He's slow. He doesn't read the quarterback well in terms of knowing where to be. And then he doesn't wrap up tackling. There was a play where he actually read the play well, got to Montgomery. It was a little screen pass, and Montgomery just bounced right off of him.
Yeah.
And it could have been a big play. It could have stopped him right at the line of scrimmage, and he bounced right off of him, went 10 yards down the field, got a first down. Just useless. The guy's useless. I'm sorry.
No, why are you apologizing with me? I agree.
I'm apologizing I would to him.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
I don't mean to be mean, but you're not a good football player at this point.
You're not a good starter. You're supposed to be here to be a great run stuffing linebacker, and you're not even doing that well. And this game, we stopped the run pretty well. They ran the ball 25 times for 63 yards. But
that was something that I think we both thought the Panthers had an advantage of in this game. With the Bears just aren't a very good running football team, and they showed it again today. Montgomery did punch it in, and then Foles punched another rushing touchdown in, but they were both from very close in. And overall, I think the Panthers did a very good. Overall, I think the defense played pretty well today. They were put in some bad field position and gave up some points, but overall, especially with all the injuries, pretty happy with how the Panthers played defense.
There is a negative. I felt like we need to get more pressure on Nick Foles. I don't know why we didn't blitz him more. His one interception was when he was pressured. I don't know why we weren't trying to get more pressure on him to make him be bad Nick Foles. He can be very bad, and we just did not capitalize on that up and down Nick Foles. Because there for a while, he was dipping to dunking on us, and
I thought they did all right with pressure. We had 9 quarterback hits in this game. but no sacks. We just didn't get there quickly enough. Of course, we had a roughing the passer towards the end of the quarter there. On the other side, Chicago's line was getting to Teddy anytime they wanted. It seemed like 4 sacks. Says only 6 QB hits, but in terms of pressure, I mean, he was pressured almost every time he dropped back.
Teddy Bridgewater had 8 carries because of pressure. Yeah. Let's just be honest. He's not a.
He was scared.
Yeah. If Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith were coming after me, I would definitely be running scared too. But
yeah. Well, he just knew that he didn't have time.
Yeah.
He knew that if his first read wasn't there, that he either needed to move around or go.
It also seemed like he was holding the ball a lot longer than he normally does. Usually he's a quick dump off passer, but I saw him do a lot of pump fakes this game. I don't understand if it was a different in the, play calling or scheme, but he was pumping it and holding on to it. They even made a comment on air about him pumping it. That's going to get you sacked most times. And he was doing that a lot this game.
Yeah. Not a great game for Teddy. 16 to 29, 216, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Again, sacked 4 times. Did have 8 carries for 48 yards, but they definitely weren't designed carries. It was more him just scrambling for his life. And then it seems like he would always come up 2 or 3 yards short of getting the first down whenever he did scramble. And I was always hoping and then that one where he tried to get to scramble into the end zone, he came up 2 yards short as well. And I just was thinking to myself, that those are plays Cam makes. This is the difference between Cam and Teddy is they're both pretty good moving around the pocket. Teddy's way better than I thought he was going to be, but you can't run anybody over with Teddy.
No. Yeah,
that's what I think that's what this team is missing is sort of that short yardage red zone hammer that can get you into the end zone, get those tough yards.
I think a lot of our red zone too is play calling. I'm sorry, but running up the middle every first down once we got inside the 10, I mean, we're at the 10, running up the middle. It just seems very asinine. I mean, we keep doing it and we kept getting 1 yard. I think we got in there like 3 or 4 times every time. First down, run up the middle with Mike Davis, and he wasn't getting anything up the middle. Mike Davis, you were playing hurt. You could tell. I think Joe Brady did him a disservice today. He has 2 receptions and 18 carries. And like I said, a majority of those were up the middle, and his longs were the ones outside.
Yeah. Yeah, he only had 3 targets. So he was not involved in the passing game at all for the first time since, he came in and took over for CMC. All right. You want to move to heroes and zeros?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right. My hero in this game, I'm just going to go with Jeremy Chin. Made some big plays, had a huge interception after Mike Davis coughed the ball up to at least save 3 points, if not 7. And then he had another big pass deflection that I can just remember off the top of my head. I think the stats say he had another one. But he was, 5 tackles today, continuing his upward trending play of being a very good defensive player for the Panthers.
Well, you jumped on it. That's exactly where I was going. I already had it written down. I'm not changing it because I really didn't see anybody else stand out. DJ Moore had some ups and downs. If he had more ups, I think I would have leaned his way. But Jeremy Chin got his first interception today. He looks like one of the building blocks for this team in the future.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, he looks, if we can shore up another, linebacker, maybe get a little bit more up front with KK Short's injury gone and stuff. I mean, this defense can build and become something good in the future. And that's great to see. And Jeremy Chin is just going to be the linchpin that flies around making plays.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you start the 0. I have a feeling we're going to have the same 0 as well.
I'm going offensive line, all of them. I mean, all of you. I mean, you didn't really open up holes for Mike Davis. Teddy Bridgewater was under constant pressure. And again, I know the Bears defense is great, but you have to hold your own. And for giving up 0 sacks the past 2 games, everybody giving you some accolades. You gave up 4 sacks, and Teddy Bridgewater ran the ball 8 times. Only one of those was planned. The rest was him running for his life. So you could know 7 times he ran the ball for his life and 4 sacks.
A couple of penalties on Okung today as well. One sort of funny false start where he just was like, have you ever seen Team America World Police, where the the international sign of distress? That's what it sort of looked like. My 0, I think it's obvious. Tahir Whitehead. I mean, the guy is a nothing for us. We might have to rename this award the Tahir Whitehead 0 of the game, like we did Christian McCaffrey for Heroes last year, because I think you could put him up there every game.
I see it. I guess maybe my belief is I expect him to suck. So I'm just, I was hoping that the O-line could hold up better than they did today.
He's not getting away with it from me.
All right. As always, we want to thank you for listening. If you like our show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. And if you leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, we'll read your comment on the show.
Yeah, we'll be back on Thursday to preview Panthers Saints. And until then, everybody, no doom and gloom. This is just one of those games that happens throughout the course of the season. The Panthers are still way ahead of where we all thought they would be at this time, and probably where they should be. Still got the right coach. I think Teddy's a good quarterback, and we're going to be just fine. So until then, everybody, keep pounding.